Hello class 7th. This is my second video related to the topic classification of the living world. In this video, we will discuss the 5 kingdom system in which I will take Monera. In 1969, R.H. Whittaker, this is the picture of R.H. Whittaker, he suggested the 5 kingdoms classification. R.H. Whittaker suggested the 5 kingdoms classification in 1969. He divided the entire living world into 5 kingdoms on the basis of cell structure, body organization and mode of nutrition. The 5 kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Clear? He divided the entire living world into 5 kingdoms on the basis of cell structure, body organization and mode of nutrition. And these 5 kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. If we talk about body organization, it means we see that organism is unicellular or multicellular. If any organism is unicellular, it means that organism is made up of one cell. But if any organism is multicellular, it means that organism is made up of many cells. In same way, if we talk about mode of nutrition, it means we see that an organism is autotrophic or heterotrophic. If any organism is autotrophic, it means that organism can make its own food. Example, you can take plants. If any organism that cannot make its own food, then it is known as heterotrophic. All animals or human beings are heterotrophic. Out of 5 kingdoms, in this video we will discuss Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera consists of the oldest, simplest and primitive organisms. They are present almost everywhere, even inside our bodies. They are prokaryotic. A prokaryote is a unicellular organism that lacks a membrane-bound nucleus. It means nuclear membrane is not present. They do not have cell organelles or any other membrane-bound organelle. Class, as you know that in plant cell there is an outer covering which is known as cell wall, and the function of the cell wall is it gives protection as well as shape to the cell. Same, some monerans have also cell wall. Example, bacteria and blue-green algae. But some others do not have cell wall. In that example is mycoplasma. Now, what about their mode of nutrition? They are mainly autotrophic. Autotrophic means they can prepare their own food. Example, blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. They can prepare their own food. But sometimes they are heterotrophic also, means they cannot prepare their own food. In that, examples are bacteria, most of the bacteria and mycoplasma. Next feature, they are usually non-movable, means cannot move. However, some have thread-like structures called flagella. That thread-like structure that is known as flagella, and they use their flagella for movement. And the most important, that organisms which belong to kingdom Monera are unicellular. It means they are made up of single cell. Now in this video we are going to talk about shape and size, some of the harmful activities and useful activities of bacteria of the kingdom Monera. Bacteria, singular form of bacteria will be bacterium. So bacteria are minute unicellular microbes. If we see the size and shape, the size of the bacteria varies from 0.2 to 100 microns. The size of bacteria varies from 0.2 to 100 microns. Each bacterial cell may exist singly, but sometimes they cling together to form chains or groups. Based on their shape, bacteria can be of different types. Rod shaped, you can see this rod shaped bacteria, or bacilli. Singular form is bacillus, plural will be bacilli. Example of this group or this type, lactobacillus and E. coli. Lactobacillus and E. coli are the examples of rod shaped or bacilli bacteria. Second one is spherical or cocci. You can see the figure, spherical or cocci. In this type, example is streptococcus. Streptococcus. Third one is spiral shaped or spirilla. You can see this spiral shaped or spirilla. Example in this type, Treponema. 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 And the fourth one is comma shaped or Vibrio. This one, comma shaped bacteria. Example, Vibrio cholerae. Bacteria can be useful as well as harmful. Some bacteria are harmful, but most serve a useful purpose. They support many forms of life, both plants and animals. Now we will discuss about useful bacteria. Bacteria are useful in many areas of industries. Yogurt and cheese are made with certain types of bacteria. Some bacteria such as Streptococcus and Lactobacillus are used to produce curd, butter and cheese. Second point, that bacteria break down waste products in sewage. It also helps to clean up oil spills. Bacteria are the scavengers of nature and help to keep the environment clean. They act on the dead bodies of plants and animals and break them down into simpler chemical compounds. During decomposition of organic material, they release carbon, nitrogen and sulfur into the atmosphere. Next one is nitrogen fixation in some plants. Some bacteria such as Azotobacter and Clostridium. These two bacteria live in the root nodules of leguminous plants and fix atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. Clear, children? So nitrogen fixation refers to the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen gas into a form usable by plants and other organisms. So these two bacteria, Azotobacter and Clostridium, these two bacteria help to convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, which is taken by plants for their use. Some bacteria help in production of vitamins. Many bacteria living in the intestine of humans, in our intestine, They live and synthesize vitamins such as vitamin B. So, in our intestines, some type of bacteria are present which help to synthesize vitamins such as vitamin B. They also help in production of medicines. Many bacteria used in the production of certain antibiotics such as streptomycin and aureomycin. Nitrification. Some bacteria convert ammonia into nitrates and increase the fertility of soil. Nitrification is an important step in the nitrogen cycle. Another point is digestion of food. Some bacteria live inside the digestive tract of herbivorous animals and break down cellulose. Class, you know that cell wall is made up of cellulose and cell wall is present in plant cell. So herbivorous animals eat only plants. So these bacteria live in digestive tract of herbivorous animals and break down cellulose and help in digestion. So they help in digestion also. And the last one is curing of tobacco and tea leaves. Bacteria are used in the curing of tobacco and tea leaves. Curing imparts a characteristic flavor to tobacco and tea leaves. Let's proceed towards harmful bacteria. Bacteria cause many diseases in plants, animals and humans. Now we will see diseases caused by bacteria in plants and animals. Bacterial leaf blight of rice is caused by Xanthomonas oryzae, PV oryzae. In cotton plant, there is a disease known as angular leaf spot, which is caused by Xanthomonas malvacearum. Now we will discuss diseases caused by bacteria in humans. In this, first we will see tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The name of the bacteria which causes tuberculosis is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Next, diphtheria, which is caused by Corynebacterium diphtheriae. Another disease in human, cholera, which is caused by Vibrio cholerae. Next, typhoid. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. Another disease which is known as botulism. Botulism is a disease which is caused by Clostridium botulinum. The name of the bacteria is Clostridium botulinum, a type of bacteria which found in canned food. There is a type of bacteria, Salmonella, which contaminates meat and eggs and causes many diseases such as typhoid fever, food poisoning and gastroenteritis. Do you know, class, why we keep food items or milk in refrigerator? It is because low temperature slows the bacterial growth. Same way, when we boil milk, then boiling temperature also kills bacteria and other microorganisms.